get a roll call here for everybody who is just joining on. We had some people who joined on early. Go ahead and let me know if you can hear me and see me move my mouse around the screen. Okay, I want to make sure everybody is technically set up and ready to roll for the webinar. We got Brad, Hillary, aloha. I love it. Welcome. Paulo, Mindy, great, great, great. Cool. Well, I mentioned this a bit earlier, but what we're going to do today is I'm going to cover these 5 steps. And in the middle, I believe there's a spot for a demo, which I will cover as well. But at about 2:30 or so, 30 minutes from now, I'm going to totally open the floor for questions. So if you've got them, go ahead, and throughout the webinar, we've got Lauren in the questions helping answer those and get to them. But hang on to them till the end as well, because I will address many live on the air. So you guys don't leave empty-handed. Want to make sure you guys have everything you need to be successful with the Heyo tool, because you guys are all Heyo customers, and we really, really appreciate that. So, like I said, today's content is focused around 5 steps to running a successful lead capture campaign. And many of you have probably signed up with Heyo under the assumption that we only do contests. It's only these one-off campaigns that you create, and then you kind of wait until it's right to run the next one. But that's not entirely true. Heyo can do a lot more than just contests, and we'll touch on contests a little bit today. But as I said, there's so much more you can do with Heyo. Not only can you run a social contest, but one of the main things we're going to talk about today is creating a lead capture page. Additionally, if you didn't know, we'll host future webinars on these topics. You can publish your social feeds to your Facebook page. Very, very cool templates there. And you can also set up a squeeze page, as we call it, that's really just a page designed to redirect people elsewhere. So today we're going to hone in on creating lead capture pages with Heyo. So why run, sorry about that typo there, why set up a lead capture page? Well, the bottom line is they convert. We've done a lot of webinars and content devoted to contests. As you can see, we've got so many case studies. But a more long-term move other than a one-off contest or campaign is really setting up a page designed to capture new email leads. And that brings us to this, the 5 steps to running a successful lead capture campaign. So that could encompass a contest, but we're going to focus on that section of the templates, lead capture templates. So the first part about running a lead capture campaign, how many of you guys have set up a landing page, it's got a form on it, and you don't really know, nobody's filling out the form? How many of you guys have done that? Not many people filling out the form. Kathleen says yes. Hillary says yes. Okay, well, good, good, good. You guys are in the right place. So, the best thing to do with landing pages is picking a relevant incentive. Now, this might seem like a no-brainer to many of you. Of course, give away something that my fans and prospective customers might want. But it's a lot more detail-oriented than that. You need to understand what your fans crave. What are they looking for? See, everyone craves an iPad, but that's not really targeted to your fan base. So that's not a really strategic prize or incentive to get the right people to fill out the form. Maybe your customers are all about free products. Maybe you offer a daily deal. I know there's an ice cream shop around the corner from me, and they actually have a weekly deal for $1 off a cone. And I always fill out the form for that coupon code. We also see many online marketers give away ebooks and white papers that are vaguely related to their product. As you'll see on the right-hand side, Phoebe's Photos gives away 10 camera tips for beginners. Now, that's not her exact product, but it's really close to it. So it provides a lot of value to customers who might look for her services in the future. Additionally, we've done in the past an opportunity to maybe be featured on their fan page or blog. People really, really love participating in lead capture campaigns where there's a strong incentive for them to enter. It makes it a no-brainer. Um, your incentive really needs to be, I've touched on this, but relevant to your audience. Maybe it's based on geography, similar hobbies. For a camera person, maybe you give away software for Photoshop or Lightroom, or the industry. So, an example that I like to give is I'm currently based out of Brooklyn, and the ice cream shop actually set up a landing page where if I signed up for their $1 off coupon code, I also got entered to win playoff tickets for the Brooklyn Nets. And man, the Brooklyn Nets are in the basement, but boy, would I love to go see a Nets game. And it's all because I live in Brooklyn. So see how they tie their product to the incentive, and that really captures the right leads. And this incentive should really be compelling to your fans. You want them sharing, you want them excited about what they're entering to receive from your end. Um, does that make sense? Another example we like to give is to, if you, let's say for the ice cream shop, you don't want to give away your ice cream. You want to give away something complimentary, maybe a free topping to that ice cream cone. So it still wants them it incentivize them to buy your product. So, what do you guys think of this? Have anybody set up a lead capture page offering an ebook, maybe a quote, a coupon code? I'm interested to see what you guys have done. Um, Elaine says she doesn't have many fill-ins. Karen doesn't have the form. Okay, well, let's keep chugging forward then, for the 5 steps to running a successful lead capture campaign. Oh, Bob says ebook. We've got a few ebooks. John hasn't done one yet. Okay, cool. Well, we'll keep chugging away. And don't worry about taking notes, folks. This is recorded, so I will send out a copy of not only the slides, but also the recording to you after this is over. Okay, so the next step to running a lead capture campaign is selecting the entry method. Now, this part is big. You want to consider your goals when setting up this entry method. Are you trying to simply set up or build your email list? Do you really want to drive engagement? What if you want to get more information about your leads? It all depends on what the incentive is. So maybe if you're offering a free quote, you want more information so you can sift through those leads more. How big is your business? How many employees do you manage? What's your annual revenue? Those are questions that you might ask if you're asking for getting a quote. But if you're simply giving away a coupon code and you just want to build your email list, maybe all you need is first name and email. Maybe it's as simple as that. Additionally, with some templates that I will show you in Heyo, if you're really trying to drive engagement, maybe you require people or incentivize them to share the contest before they can actually enter. So some options you have in Heyo are collecting contact information. As I touched on, if you only ask for name and email, you will get a much larger volume of entries as opposed to asking maybe 5 or 6 questions. If you're looking to really engage your fans, maybe asking them to submit a photo through our video or photo contest templates, as well as a description of the photo. That really gets people to fall in love with your brand. Heck, they spend so much time picking the right photo on their Instagram, writing a description of why it's important to them, and entering. That is a really, really hot lead. If going after user engagement is a great way to find out who's really into your brand. Additionally, the last two, like contact information and referrals, all of that's revolved around contests. We have a few contest templates that actually, after people enter their email, it asks them to share, and that's a great way to get the viral loop going, because they share with their friends enter, and then their friends enter, and their friends enter. It's exponential. So that's really important to think about when you're thinking about your goals. So you're going for volume, quality. What are you really looking to get from the people that you're targeting? So the biggest thing that I want to touch on here is how important emails are. Emails are one of the most important assets as a business that you have. The reason being is, what's the first thing you do when you get to your desk in the morning? You open up Gmail or Outlook, what have you. You check your email on a regular, consistent basis. Your phone pings every time you get an email. We cannot escape email. So it's important that for your potential customers, you capture that email so later down the road, you can maybe send them to future contests and campaigns and also sell your products to them. So before I keep moving, does this make sense to everybody so far? Why emails are so important, and selecting an entry method is really, really important to the type of leads you're going to get? Yes, Kathleen says yep. John says yep. Fantastic. Good. I just want to make sure everybody's staying with me here. I know sometimes I can talk a little fast, so want to make sure we jump in to the tool so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. But first, I've got one more tip, or I want to cover it before I actually get into the demo, is creating your lead capture page with Heyo. As I touched on at the very beginning, we not only have contest templates, which many of you are very familiar with, but we also have these lead capture templates that are pre-designed, mobile responsive, and actually offer a really, really slick design to capture a little more information on your potential leads. You can always customize the content, colors, copy, anything in Heyo. And when you publish it, it's definitely going to be on mobile. We know how important mobile is to our customers because we usually play in the Facebook space, and the average Facebook user spends 914 minutes per month on Facebook mobile. Wow. So you better believe we design these templates so that they're mobile optimized, because we know how much traffic is actually coming from Facebook's mobile app. So let's go ahead and, well, let me jump back to the slides here. I'm going to jump into the Heyo demo. I want to show you where these lead capture templates are. So I am going to log into my account. I'm going to go to the dashboard, and I'm going to click the big orange Create a Campaign button. Boom. So as you can see here, many of you guys have run contests with Heyo before, but Heyo also has these other sections of our templates, and one of them is the Create a Lead Capture page. It's a great way to collect sign-up for your newsletter or give away a free download. Let's check them out. So we have 3 designed here. They're all named for a specific purpose, but keep in mind, that's totally changeable. That's just to give you an idea of what the design looks like. So you can use Get a Quote to collect email leads and other important data to qualify your leads before you reach out to them. Like I said before, if you ask for number of employees, business size, you kind of know before reaching out if they're going to be a good fit for your products. Free download is a great way to set up a download page for your ebook, white paper, any digital product you have. And sign up is a very, very simple landing page to capture emails just so you can build your email list. So let's jump in. I want to show you guys the download template. I want to see in the questions. No questions just yet. Okay, great. All right, so I selected free download, and now, as you can see here, this is the preview, so I could actually preview any of these. Free quote looks good, free download looks good, sign up's pretty slick, but let's stick with free download. So I'm going to save and start editing. So here is where you totally customize what the incentive is. So for this one, Phoebe's Photos, 10 camera tips for beginners. So Phoebe came in, she clicked here, she uploaded her own image, she used the headline to touch on exactly what it was you were getting by filling out the form. And then these are actually really important. So what you want to do here, I touched on incentivizing sharing, is once we publish, we'll come back to this because we want to put the smart URL here. But maybe in the tweet text, let's actually copy this. So if someone clicks tweet, this is what appears. Free download, top 10 camera tips for beginners. Click here to get your copy. And I will come back when I have that smart URL. I'm just going to save it for now. So, as you can see, Phoebe came in here. She selected her colors to match her brand. She uploaded an image. Real quick, before I go on, does anybody how do you guys create images? Are you using Photoshop? Are you going on to Dollar Photo Club? How do you guys create images? Maybe you want to add an arrow. Do you use Microsoft Paint? That's what I used for a long time. Images are Canva. Ooh, awesome. Canva is very popular these days. Okay. Well, I wanted to give you guys a tip, Photoshop and Canva. Wow, I did not know how popular Canva was. Well, for those of you guys who don't have Photoshop, it's a big clunky tool. I've got it down here. I don't like opening it because it crashes my computer a lot. But this is a great freebie, Pixlr.com. This is actually where I learned Photoshop. Pixlr.com. What you can do is you can go down here to the Pixlr editor and launch web app. You can either open an image or create one from scratch. I'm going to name this lead capture image, and it's a full-on, very powerful photo editor and image creator on the internet. So no need for software, no need to even sign up. Heck, and you can save these to your computer and create layers. It's a very, very powerful Photoshop tool. So go ahead, and if you want this link, let me know in the questions and I'll send it to you right now. Yes, please, Hillary. Okay. Awesome. Karen, there you go. Good. I just want to make sure that everyone, because a lot of times we hear people say, Alex, those templates look great, but I don't have the tools to create a pretty image like that. Well, now you do. So bookmark that one. And if at the end, I'll ask for topics on future webinars. And if photo editing and image creation is something you guys are interested, I will definitely host one of those coming soon. So let's jump back here. So that's how you would create this image. It's a big block. And I believe the dimensions are listed here on the right. Let's double check that. Yep, 585 by 474. So here is where it gets interesting. The most important part is this form. What kind of data are you capturing? This one is designed for a free ebook. So quite honestly, I don't think that you need that much data just if you're offering a free ebook. What do you guys think? Too much? Would you ask for more information for an ebook or less? What do you guys think? Less. 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 Way too much, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go through we use Mad Mimi, so I want these leads to go to Mad Mimi. So I'm actually going to go through the steps here. Maybe you use MailChimp. Whoa. Maybe use Aweber, Constant Contact for your email contacts, Campaign Monitor, Infusionsoft. We've got a lot of integrations. We're working on building more, but I'm actually going to connect to my Mad Mimi account. I am going to build the 312 monthly leads. And now look, I have the full capability to remove. I don't want to collect company name. I don't even want phone number. I think first name, last name, and email address is plenty. And download page URL. This is where they will go after they fill out the form. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually take note here, guys. If you guys are watching my screen, got a bunch of links here that I'm going to grab a PDF. And this is actually a really good ebook. And if you guys want it, I'll give it to you. This is how to pick the perfect prize. We've actually got a full ebook on how to pick a good prize or incentive for your contest or lead capture page. So this is the download. This is the full-on PDF. So I'm going to drop this in the download page URL. And I saw some questions about designing the form. You can do that down here in the advanced options. So I'm actually going to remove, well, let's make the background maybe this blue. What was this blue here? Let's try to replicate that. Yeah, something close to there. You can use your hex values if you know those for your brand. And I am going to change the text color and the inputs. They kind of blend in a little bit. So maybe to a little bit of a gray here. And I'm going to change the button color. We recommend a really, really bright button color to make it obvious where the user is supposed to click. Lately, I've been a big fan of like magentas and reds. I think those pop really, really nicely. Yeah, that looks really good. Really good. So with this template, I'm actually going to save these changes. So with this template, you can actually add descriptions about what's included in the ebook. So we've got another headline and these incentives here where you can upload images as well as add descriptions immediately below them. So you can provide more information further down. So let's save. And I'm actually going to change this text to be a little more straightforward. Enter information to download our ebook. Just so it's very, very clear. Okay, let's save. I'm going to preview exactly how I set it up. And now I am going to, before I publish, I'm going to preview on mobile. Looks really, really slick. Preview on the web, just like we designed it. As well as I'm going to select the fan page so I can publish it to Facebook. I'll do Heyo Helpers. That's my test page. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click Publish here. And before I actually go test this, I'm going to copy this Smart URL. And let's go back, because remember, when I set up the share buttons, I wanted to include that Smart URL here. So what the Smart URL does is it actually, depending on the device your user's on, it redirects users to the appropriate version. So if they're on mobile, they won't see the web version. They'll see that nice, slick mobile version. So it's nice and user-friendly. So I'm going to go ahead and publish again. And let's check this out live. Let's see what we got. So because I'm on desktop, it's going to go to the Facebook page I published to. And whenever anybody enters this information and clicks download now, you'll see, boom, that email was added to Mad Mimi, that email list, and they got the PDF. Simple as that. Entry has been recorded. Now, let's say they get the ebook, they go back and they say, wow, my followers could really use this. Just like we customized in Heyo. Let's see here, it says waiting. We've got that exact same text here. Oh, and it actually, I thought that might happen. It depends. You actually don't need to do that smart URL step because you'll notice it does it automatically. I was worried about that. So you can delete one of those and you can tweet that out, or they can tweet that out to their followers. And that's how you get that viral loop going. Really, really good stuff. Okay, I want to go ahead and pause for a second. I've still got two more things. What do you guys think? Have you guys used a lead capture template before in Heyo? Let's see. No, not yet. Hillary says no. Okay, great. Never used one. John says mobile doesn't convert all that well. I would definitely argue the opposite, John. You want to be in front of your customers wherever they are. So if you don't have a mobile optimized version, you're definitely losing traffic or losing leads. Okay. So let's keep chugging on. So now you've got that smart URL. You've got it all set up in Heyo. You spent time designing it. You've got your incentive picked out. You got an ebook that you want to share with the world. What next? So step 4 is all about promoting your lead capture page. How do you get people to actually enter? If you don't let your audience know about your page, then they're not going to find it. That's the bottom line. I hear all the time people say that they build their campaign, but it wasn't as successful as they thought because they didn't put the mustard in to promote it. Well, it's really not that difficult to promote it. You just have to be very diligent, and you can't expect one post to do the trick. Sometimes it takes a little elbow grease. So a Facebook post is the best way to drive existing fans to your campaign. If you've got a page and you've got likes on your page already, then posting to your page is very a simple way to get those people engaged with your campaign. So let's go ahead. I'm actually going to copy this link. And I'm going to go into my test page here. And I'm going to paste in this link. And let's say I'm going to type in the status update. I'm going to say interested or just getting started with photography. Download our free ebook for our top 10 tips for beginners. I'm going to leave the link in there just because that's an extra place where people can click. You can customize all this. You could even customize the perfect image just to fit that square. So free ebook download, 10 camera tips for beginners. You could add down here more info on lighting, aperture, visual design, and camera settings. Boom. And we'll see when I click post, the benefit of doing this post is this whole thing becomes clickable so that anybody who sees that in the newsfeed will be taken here. Very, very cool. So that's the best place to start when promoting your lead capture campaign. Other channels that you might want to tap into, maybe your page is at, or maybe you're actually more popular on other social media outlets, say Twitter or Pinterest. Maybe you're a B2B brand and have a huge LinkedIn following. You'll want to post it there. Anywhere where you know your fans are, you want to post it and get them entering. Additionally, you can the goal being emails, that doesn't mean you shouldn't look to contacts you already have to help them get the campaign rolling. So if you send an email to the list you already have, chances are you're going to get a few residual shares, and they're going to expose the fans you already have are going to expose your brand to new audiences, their friends, their followers. So it might seem like redundant almost to send an email to emails who with the goal of being capturing more emails, but it's really not. It's a really smart thing to do. Maybe you have a big blog or website. You can always put a banner or use a tool like SumoMe that is like pop-up and banner based to send traffic to that smart URL. Now, that was a mouthful. That was a big slide. This is the most important piece, in my opinion, for how to have a successful campaign. So I'm going to pause before I move forward. I know I promised Q&A at 2:30. I've got one more thing I want to cover before then. But was this slide helpful? Was this a helpful slide for promoting your campaign? Does this make sense as to why you want to use your existing fan base to help grow new fans? Helpful, yes. Karen says you made it look so easy. Oh, Paulo, right. Everyone is curious about SumoMe. So I am going to actually pause. This is a huge value add here. Huge value add. So AppSumo, I'm going to do a quick Google search for SumoMe. SumoMe is an awesome, awesome tool that allows you to create pop-ups, banners, and all sorts of cool little widgets for your website. So SumoMe.com, I'll go ahead and send that to all. Lauren, if you don't mind, go ahead and send that to anybody who asks for it. But let me show you what they do. This is exactly it. There's a pop-up. SumoMe wants us to enter our email address. You could do that, or you could just create a button that links to the campaign you've already built. So let me show you an example. I'm going to go to our blog. I don't know if anybody here's been to our blog before. We have tons. I manage the blog, and we have so much good marketing content here. We use SumoMe here, as you can see, to offer up a free download for some graphics. If you need graphics for your contests and campaigns, highly recommend checking out the blog and downloading those. And we also use it for we customize this banner. Right now we're offering another ebook. See, ebooks are big, folks. This is why Heyo's got our own landing page builder for them. And notice this is another SumoMe tool. When I get to the bottom, it asks me to enter my email. So SumoMe is a great way to capture more emails, and I have the option of maybe I don't want to capture emails. I built the landing page elsewhere. I could just make this a button. So I apologize for getting sidetracked for those who weren't interested in that, but that's a really, really good way to leverage traffic you already have. So take that away. All right, so let's jump back into the content here and see what we've got. All right, so the last step to running a successful lead capture campaign is picking a winner if you're running a contest, or just the follow-up. Make sure that after the campaign is over, you know what you want to do with those leads. Like I said, if you've run a campaign, you know you've got to, or if you've run a contest with Heyo, you've got to pick a winner and notify that winner. Or even to those who didn't win, you can email them and say, sorry, thank you for entering the next contest. We'll notify you about the next contest. Making sure you set up that download page URL, sending the ebook. You could do that either by, as I showed earlier with the redirect, or you could send an email via, maybe if you use MailChimp or Aweber, you can send up an automatic email so whenever somebody signs up to your list, they get that in their inbox. Folks, I can't reiterate enough how important email marketing is to the big picture of online marketing and having a business online. Capturing these opportunities for follow-up communication is the reason that Heyo exists, is the reason that we're so set on having these forms and lead capture templates, because once you have that email, then you can develop a plan for what the next steps are for those leads. So just going back to the example we set up for the ebook, the top 10 camera tips for beginners. So let's say Phoebe gets 50 people to download her ebook. That's 50 people she might not have ever had the chance to communicate with before. And then a month down the road, she holds a promotion for maybe it's a get 50% off wedding prints if you book a wedding this week. So then she sends that email to these people, and let's say 5 people sign up or sign up for wedding photography. That's 5 new sales. You see how that works? It's all about the next steps after the email is captured. You remarket to the people who were interested in your content. It's a very natural sales funnel. It goes from lead to sale. You just have to be very intentional with the content that you provide and leading them naturally to the sale. So that was a whole lot. That was a full-on, pretty much online marketing course for lead capture campaigns. I'm going to go ahead and just to recap, I'm going to send these slides to you guys again at the end. But what we covered today, we covered picking a relative incentive for your brand or business, how to choose the form of entry. Maybe it's sharing via contest. Maybe you're really interested in that viral loop, or I think the most tried and true way in online marketing is making sure you capture the email, and that's the most important piece. The other fields, as I touched on earlier, are up to what the goal is of the campaign. Step 3 was all about creating that lead capture page with Heyo, how to select the right template and customize the specific content pieces. Step 4 was how and where to promote your lead capture page. That is, in my opinion, where people have the most trouble online marketing, is they don't understand that it takes elbow grease to get the campaign rolling. And step 5 is why following up is by far the most important part, because if you've got leads and you don't know how to use them, well, heck, they're not going to mean any money for your business. So that's why the follow-up is most important. And I think this was a really, really successful, fun webinar. I hope it was helpful, and I want you guys to feel the same way. So in the GoToWebinar questions, if you could, just let me know, were there at least 2 actionable things that you learned from this webinar? Please, please, please be very honest with me. If it was too slow, too fast, if you couldn't get all the notes down, or you didn't really know why you joined the webinar, let me know. But I think it was very helpful. I got a lot of good feedback. Hillary says, yes, you're awesome. Thanks, Alex. Barb got a lot of good feedback. Karen did as well. Good pace, good information, awesome. And keep in mind, this is recorded so that you can go back on it and review it at any time. I want to let you guys know that for annual customers only, just for joining today's webinar, I try to do these once every week or 2 weeks or so. If you sign up for annual, we've got a few monthly, most are annual. You will not only get this downloadable PDF, you'll get step-by-step setup instructions. I will personally send you an email template for follow-up, as well as all the helpful links and resources. And as a bonus, just because I really, really love touching as many campaigns as I possibly can, I'll personally review your lead capture page design and make any recommendations that I deem necessary. So if you are a monthly user, we highly recommend going to heyo.com/annual and signing up for an annual plan. It saves 10 different charges on your card, or 12 rather, month over month. It's cheaper than the monthly price. We host these webinars for annual. We actually have annual webinars only, and it can be canceled anytime for a prorated refund. So there's really no risk in signing up. As I said, these lead capture pages are way, way more of a long-term play than any contest ever will be. So if you run a contest and once it's done, you feel like you don't need Heyo anymore, that couldn't be further from the truth. These lead capture campaigns can go forever. We have had so many people just publish these and have them run for months on end. So annual plans are definitely a good fit for Heyo customers. We have so many people on them, and I know this is a customer only webinar. Everybody's already a current customer, but I just want to make sure that you guys get the best price and the right products for your business. So I figured I'd offer this. And I am going to go ahead and pause my screen. The next slide, I'll leave this up just so anybody can go. The next slide is full on Q&A. So from here on out, I'm just going to answer any questions that if they didn't get answered, go ahead and copy and paste it. I know Lauren was hustling in there trying to get them all answered, but I want to make sure that everyone gets everything they need by 3 o'clock so that I can trust that you're going to go set up a successful lead capture campaign. So let's see here. Mindy says, if we are already an annual customer, can we still get the bonuses just listed? Absolutely, Mindy. And the way to do that is if you just email me, I'm going to send it privately to you. Just shoot me an email and I will make sure that we get you the right bonuses. So John says he likes our business model. I appreciate that, John. Victoria, yes, I have contacted you personally via email. I think you're all right. Just remind me via email and I will make sure you get everything. Barb says, Barb's on an agency plan and she's curious about other options. Barb, I'm going to shoot you my colleague Jay's email so he can get in touch with you about your account and hopefully you guys can work something out there. We're very, with current customers, folks, we want to make sure that you guys feel comfortable coming to us with any questions. We want you guys for the long term. We love it. We love hosting these webinars and working with your business because we understand the importance of email marketing and lead captures online, and we want to share that knowledge with you. So thank you all so much for joining. Again, if you could, if you've got more questions, if you just want to give me a shout out, go ahead and raise your hand. I want to unmute some folks so that we can spice this up a little bit. I've been talking for 45 minutes now. So if you've got your microphone connected and want to chat with me, go ahead and raise your hand. And I'm going to go ahead and just keep watching the questions and see what rolls in. Technical, account related, bring it on. I'm here to answer. Let's see what we've got. Karen says, thank you, thank you. Oh, I apologize if it says I'm Nathan Locke. I'm not Nathan Locke. I'm actually Alex Shammy. You guys have probably gotten a lot of emails from me. Some people refer to me as Spammy Shammy. I assure that is so unintended. So unsubscribe at any time. But I'm here for your business. As many of you, I've worked with so many of you guys already. I love doing these. If you've got topics for any other webinars, or maybe you think you want to cover Facebook ads or design or anything else, just fire them in the questions because I'm I'm trying to generate new ideas for these so that our customers get the most value. Um, let's see. Paulo says it always says Nathan. Can't you change that? It's been like this for 2 weeks, but I know it's you, Alex. I think Paulo, what it is it's on the master account, and so I can't change it, unfortunately. Um, let's see. Victoria says, do you recommend to pay for boosting a post with lead collection on Facebook? Victoria, that's an interesting dilemma because you want to get you want your campaign to get as much reach as possible organically. But let's actually go to Facebook. Promoting it's not the worst idea. We've seen people have quite a bit of success with promoting campaigns. I think the biggest thing is understanding who your target audience is, because there are so many demographical options you have within Facebook's ads. Sometimes people get how can I just explain this? They get big eyes when they see, oh man, I can reach potentially 1 million customers on Heyo or on Facebook by promoting this. Well, that's 1 million customers that might not be the most targeted for your brand. So um, I recommend maybe experimenting with $5 and adding a lot of restrictions, both geographically, age wise, interest wise, just really getting down to who you think your potential customers are if you're planning on promoting this lead capture page. So let's see. John says he's not a fan of boosting posts. Ads are not very haven't performed well for him. I've seen it go both ways. I definitely think with Facebook's custom audiences now, I think that's a really good way to kind of match your current customers to potential customers. If you haven't heard of custom audiences before, what you can do is you can actually upload your existing email list, and Facebook will find those emails Facebook profiles and find pretty much carbon copies of them, and that's who they'll target, is people who have already people just like your current customers. So that's a really interesting strategy that I personally haven't experimented too much with. So let's see. Mindy says, what percentage of your Facebook likes or fans is considered a successful Heyo campaign? That's a great question, Mindy. I don't like to do it based on percentage of likes or fans, especially if you're experimenting with promoting via email or Twitter or other social networks. I think what you should do is set a goal yourself, is before the campaign, I want to this would be a successful lead capture campaign if I could get 100 new emails. And then you figure out how you get those 100 new emails. Now, if you have to dump hundreds of dollars into Facebook ads to get there, then I would not consider that a successful campaign. But let's say you make one post on social media and send one email and you get 300. Well, geez, that's successful. I think it's all about self-discipline, Mindy, and not coming up with arbitrary numbers against Facebook likes. I think you need to set realistic goals for yourself and figure out how to obtain them, because that forces you to answer tough questions. It forces you to think, well, gee, I really don't have that many Facebook fans. Maybe only 2 will enter. I got to figure out how to find the other 98. So I really am not a big fan of using likes as a measuring stick. Let's see. We've got other questions here. Danielle says, did you cover how to get the lead capture page onto a website? Was that the SumoMe app, or is there another way as well? Danielle, this is actually its own website. So I'm going to go down here. So it publishes to, if you were to not publish to Facebook, let's actually take that out of the equation. And let's click publish. You don't have to have a Facebook page to use Heyo. A lot of people don't know that. But you can copy this link, paste it, and it actually goes to the web version. So totally free of Facebook. You could set up a redirect from your website to this, or you could just send a direct link to the w.heyo version. So great question. Let's see. What else do we have? Ooh, a lot of questions rolling in. Karen asked if we can do a questions on Facebook ads and custom audiences. Absolutely, Karen. Absolutely. Mindy says, do you ever repeat? Oh man, my screen was paused. I apologize, folks. Screen was paused. Mindy says, do you ever repeat that link? Here, I'm going to send this. I just realized that. Victoria, I just sent Victoria information on custom audiences. Let me see here. I'm going to go back. Karen asked about Facebook audiences. Definitely going to have to run a webinar on that. Mindy asked about repeating a campaign. If so, how often? I recommend. So what I recommend actually is setting up a few of these lead capture campaigns. These like downloads, get a quote, and maybe doing. You could run one of these for heck 2 months. And maybe campaigns in between. So maybe while you've got this free ebook that just lives on your page, take a look. I'll show you where ours is. Free Heyo ebook. This lives here permanently, folks. That's why having Heyo year round is important. I use the exact same template I showed you earlier, customized it, and this lives here forever. Now maybe once a month we decide we want to run a photo contest. That's when you can use the contest templates, but they go hand in hand. This isn't like a one-off campaign. This is like more of a long-term play. So I hope that makes sense. You can do contests in between these lead capture campaigns. Okay, so that was a mouthful, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and take 60 minutes to grab water, or 60 seconds. Oh my gosh. If you've got more questions here, folks, type them in. We've got Lauren still on board. I'm gonna come back. We're staying on air here till the top of the hour, so type your questions in. I will get to them when I get back from my sip of water. But I want to thank you again. It looks like a lot of people got a lot of good stuff today, so thank you so much again for joining. I'll be back in just about 60 seconds. Alrighty, folks. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I'm not seeing any questions roll through, but I do want to stay on the air in honor that we booked an hour of your time. So if you think of anything or you've got questions maybe about the annual plan or anything that we covered today, maybe you got ideas about future webinars, please let me know in the questions. I'm always looking for feedback and ideas to work with you and your business. So I'm going to go mute here because no questions are rolling in. But for anybody that is still on and has questions, Elaine says she's annual and wants to make sure she gets the bonuses. Elaine, I'm going to send you my personal email right now. That way you can reach out to me personally and I'll make sure you get the bonuses. Karen says, how do you watch this video again? Karen, all you got to do is just be patient with me. I am going to process this recording. Sometimes GoToMeeting can be a little hairy with the recording, but usually I've got it up by the end of the day, and I will send you an email immediately when it's ready. So great question, Karen. Mindy says, do you have a specific recommendation as to a mail service to use? Mindy, I recommend MailChimp, especially if you're just getting started. I think it's the easiest to pick up and learn, and they've got they have rockstar customer support and a really, really simple user interface. Victoria's experimenting with custom audiences. Awesome. Paolo's working on building an audience on Facebook. Awesome, awesome, Paolo. Let me know how I can help and how that's going for you. 300 fans. He says, I keep in mind that I must have 300 fans for Parklands before I run a contest. That's the reason why I'm not running a contest yet. Makes sense, Paulo. We definitely recommend having a following on Facebook before running a contest. However, if you have an audience elsewhere, it's not. Remember, you don't have to publish to Facebook. So if you've got audience elsewhere, don't feel like you cannot use Heyo because you do not have 300 fans. There's other ways to get traffic. We just recommend that because we know with pages that have that number of likes, they see good organic reach in the newsfeed, and therefore they can post a contest and people will enter right away. Mindy says, thank you. Paul says, thank you, thank you. Let's see. Victoria asks, what is my favorite social media manager? Hootsuite or Buffer? I personally use Buffer for my personal accounts. However, Hootsuite is it's a little clunky, but it's way more powerful in terms of searching and setting up feeds. So you can see, I've been using the photography example a lot. So you could run a Twitter search for wedding photography and see everybody who's tweeted about wedding photography. So I personally think that Hootsuite's a little more powerful from a business perspective. Um, Victoria says she's already started with a contest. What do you recommend? As clearly, I shouldn't have done that first. I don't think that's clearly, but we should get creative with how to promote it. Have you sent an email to your list, Victoria? I would definitely recommend if you haven't seen the traffic you've liked, maybe experimenting with uploading that custom audience first and letting that run for a day, maybe putting $10 towards ads and seeing if that drives a bunch of interest. And if it doesn't, then I would maybe experiment with other channels. Maybe your personal Facebook page is a good place to start, or any other social media accounts you guys might have. And also, especially if you're just getting going on Facebook, don't feel like you have to turn the contest off after a week. Maybe let it run for 2 or 3 so you can get your bearings as to where you think you're going to get the most leads from. The last tip about contests outside Facebook is the star idea for the hour. I never even considered it. It is so powerful, Elaine. My job here at Heyo is all about product. That's why I do these product webinars. I really like highlighting everything that our product can do, and I couldn't agree more. People don't know that Heyo is a full-on landing page builder, so we got to spread the word. And I think removing the idea that it has to be within Facebook is really important to Heyo customers, because Victoria and Paulo think, oh, well, I can't use Heyo if I don't have this number of likes. That's so not true. There are so many ways to get traffic online, especially if you already have even a small audience, just to get the ball rolling. Alrighty, folks. I am seeing questions slow down quite a bit, but what I want to do is just make sure that everyone understands. By the end of the day, you're going to get this recording. You're going to get a copy of this PDF. I'm always available via email, alex@heyo.com. If you've got ideas for future webinars, questions about your current campaign, or anything in between, I'm so happy to help you with your projects. And I hope that you got a lot of value out of this. And we will continue to do these customer webinars for everybody. So stay tuned. Check your inbox from Spammy Shammy. But that is all we've got today. For content, Victoria's got a few more questions. Fire them to me in an email so I can get them answered. I've got to go offline so another employee can use GoToMeeting. But please, please, please send me those, Victoria. I want to make sure I help you out. We've connected via email before. So thank you all. Expect the recording in your inbox, and I hope to have you on future webinars. Over and out, folks. Have a great day.